Bob Seldon is an attorney and has lived in Santa Monica for 26 years.
Hi, and welcome to Vote 2012. Bob, welcome to you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Santa Monica has a traffic problem. Are we agreed?
We do.
Okay, how would you address it?
I've jokingly told people I would make all the streets one way in the same direction, and within a day or two it would be Los Angeles' problem.
So you would head them east
all
instead
east,
of west.
all the streets would be east. But beyond that, what I would do is I would get the traffic flowing once again on the main arteries. We need to have, in some cases, perhaps one-way streets with synchronized traffic lights. We need to draw the traffic out of the neighborhoods and make it easy for people to get to where they have to go. We got to get rid of some of these traffic calming measures that are just creating bottlenecks and gridlock. We should be relieving the stress off of our residents, not adding to it. I don't think anybody's out there driving for fun. It's because we're trying to raise families and make a living, and the city ought to be reducing the stress levels instead of adding to it.
What exactly is a traffic calming method?
Traffic calming was initially employed to slow traffic down, which is kind of a joke at this point. It included the use of narrow lanes, meridian strips that would be very scenic, and therefore drivers would want to slow, whereas we find they're really masking pedestrians that are trying to cross the street, in my experience. Also, the extended curbs that poke out into the street at the various corners was another measure.
I see. The loss of redevelopment funds has severely limited many of the plans that the current council has made. What would be your first priority to retain, and how would you fund it?
Well, you know, a lot of the projects that the redevelopment agency was funding were not aimed at residents. What I would do, and it may be a battle that's too late to fight, is I wouldn't have taken $40 million to complete a park across from City Hall that no residents need or want or have asked for or are going to use. And I would have used the money to rehabilitate the auditorium, which is a historic structure and could be the site of a lot of great events for local residents.
A UCLA scientific air quality study measured peak particulate pollution levels at more than 1,000 times normal in the Los Angeles residential neighborhood just to the east of Santa Monica Airport. What are you prepared to do as a council member to address this issue?
I think the airport is a terrible source of emissions, and it's left over from a bygone age in Santa Monica, and I think it really needs to be addressed seriously. At the very least, we ought to be getting rid of the western end of the airport, which we can do, I believe, in 2015, to shorten the runways, get rid of the jets and the larger planes. If we can get rid of the airport and close it, I think we need to do it. But the perpetuity clause that we have with the federal government, where we agreed to run the airport in perpetuity when we received it back from them after World War II, is an issue that needs to be resolved. And I don't think the city should lose control of the airport by taking a hard stance. There may be litigation in the works, and I would support litigation if it came to that, to try and close the airport.
To try to close it?
Correct.
Yes. One of our current council members' major projects was to increase access to services for homeless veterans over at Wadsworth. Do you think this is a program that the city should continue to pursue?
Absolutely. I think these people interrupted their lives. They went off and left their families behind, and I think we owe it to them.
Do you favor allowing workers, employees, to park in preferential parking zones during the day?
No. I think that one of the solutions is that the problem is that these buildings have the parking structures as profit centers, and the tenants have to pay for parking. And I've taken the point of view that parking ought to be included in the leases. If the tenants are paying for the parking anyway, their employees, their patients, their clients will get free parking, and it'll keep them off the neighborhood streets. And that's what I'd like to see. We have that problem in our neighborhood where the tenants aren't paying for their parking of their patients and employees, and there's no parking spaces left during the day. So that's one solution. And the other solution is if buildings are being built, they just have to provide adequate parking. That's part of their obligation in doing the project.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.